Hi, everyone.
Good day. We're on page 567 of In Search of Christian Freedom, the chapter An Appealing Promise Unfulfilled. Ray has been in this section, which is subtitled The Fruitage of Hope, analyzing the fallout from 1975, the disappointment. And the question we have to ask is this Armageddon alarmism, which the Watchtower is addicted to, is it ever going to be repented of? So Ray says, as the Watchtower itself has admitted, the disappointment produced, quote, has in some cases led to spiritual disaster. That from the April 15th, 1990 Watchtower. The branch memorandum quoted, while showing that the effect on many was to give increased support to congregational activities, relates that, quote, many started pioneering with that date in view, cut short their studies, restricted regular employment, or refused opportunities for earning more money, neglected their health, end of quote. And with that year's passing, quote, felt disappointed and disillusioned, end of quote. I have seen people very greatly harmed by the false urgency surrounding the 1975 predictions, with some undergoing extreme emotional stress, families facing enduring economic strain for years, men who had given up good jobs having bouts with alcoholism due to the difficulty in finding new employment, elderly persons who faced a bleak future due to using insurance or similar funds prematurely, persons whose physical health was seriously damaged due to putting off surgery or other treatment. If the sacrifice had been for truth, for God, for a noble purpose, then it would be worth it. But it was due to a mental concoction originating with one person and then promulgated by an organization, and it ended in nothing, proved a complete fiction. They may try to shrug it off, but the responsibility for all this rests with those who gave birth to the false hopes, who stirred up and excited illusionary expectations.
Both Christ and the Apostle Paul urged for calmness against letting earthly events and predictions become a source of alarming excitement. The Watchtower publications do the opposite, utilizing whatever world events may be current to foment agitated presentiment, a sense of something cataclysmic about to occur. They are openly committed to maintaining an unremitted sense of urgency among all members. This is used to fill the roles of both the proverbial carrot and the stick. On the one hand, it entices with the prospect of surviving Armageddon into a new world and never dying. On the other, it serves as a prod toward intensified activity in carrying out the organization's program and working toward its goals. It is an urgency based on significant attachment to world events, the implications being those the organization itself attributes to the events. Within this century, as in all previous centuries, we have seen numerous alternating periods of notable violence and of relative peace. The Watchtower organization has found the formula to use either circumstance in creating a sense of imminent disaster. Whenever a period of increased violence and unrest appears, this is pointed to as proof that the predictions made are right and that the time is very near. When those conditions subside, and later quite opposite conditions favorable for greater peace develop, this is nonetheless utilized as evidence that sudden destruction is near, based on Paul's words about men saying peace and security at 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The Watchtower publications have made statements like these.
Quote, this prophecy makes it clear that just prior to the end of this system of things, peace and security will be declared in some exceptional way, whether by the United Nations or independently by political and religious leaders. That's the Watchtower, 1984, May 15. Or this quote, "Now in the waning months of President Reagan's term and in the thawing atmosphere of Secretary Gorbachev's glasnost, that is openness policy, there appears to be serious talk about diffusing the nuclear arms situation. Whether this is a prelude to bring about a supposed peace and security for the world in general, we cannot foresee, but in accordance with Bible prophecy, that is what Christians are looking for." That being from the Awake, April 8, 1988. And then, from True Peace and Security, How Can You Find It?, the revised edition of 1986. This, "It will come as an unmistakable signal that world destruction is imminent." Yet the context of the Apostle's words are against this very viewpoint, for he states, quote, "About dates and times, my friends, we need not write to you, for you know perfectly well that the day of the Lord comes like a thief in the night. While they are talking of peace and security, all at once, calamity is upon them." That being 1 Thessalonians 5, 1-3 in the New English Bible.
Since the day of the Lord comes like a thief, clearly the apostle is not saying that people talking of peace and security is some sort of signal or alarm in the form of a notable pronouncement. Thieves do not supply unmistakable signals or alarms to herald their imminent arrival. It is evident that Paul's words correspond to the words spoken earlier by Christ, that his coming will find people in an apparent state of normalcy, with life going on as usual, people eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, building and planting, with nothing to excite premonitions or give advance indications that judgment is suddenly to begin.
Well, we have dealt with some of this material, some of these paragraphs before in a series on peace and security. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go to that for more information, we'll put that link on the screen. That series was about 6 videos long, and not only was the viewpoint of Ray Franz represented in it, but also a look at what David Reed said about it, and had the Watchtower repented of this tendency to Armageddon alarmism or not. And in addition to that, we went through the text of Thessalonians itself, going both directions, backwards into chapter 3 and 4, and then forward into the end of 1 Thessalonians 5. Mm-hmm. That's always your protection, a contextual understanding of a verse. This verse is singled out, as we know, and has been for a long, long time. How far indeed back does the alarmism about peace and security go? We'll look into that. Ray will look into that next time.